Hey everybody, here for Growing Up Hip Hop Season 1, Episode 4. Let's get into it. First of all, let me just take a moment and say, because I got me a new phone, y'all. I got me a new phone Thursday. I could not take it with my other phone. That's why I was doing all my reviews from my iPad, because my other phone, I broke it last week. It was pissing me off and it was not working. It was just driving me insane. So I took it and I threw it. And I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but I haven't broken a phone in years and I really wasn't trying to break my phone, but I was just so aggravated. You know how when you have a phone and it's always glitching? My phone would just not charge and I was sitting up here breaking chargers to charge the phone. It's so annoying. But yeah, I have the Galaxy S6 Edge, and this is the phone that I have been dreaming of getting because it's so free and beautiful, and it exceeded my expectations because look at this video gonna be on fleek. But anyway, yeah, okay, there's something on the camera. Okay, yeah, let's get into this review, y'all. First review on my Galaxy S6. I'm gonna have fun with this. Hopefully I can do my reviews with this phone and, continue on or whatever. But yeah, okay, well, I was out Thursday, so that's why this review is late. And I know I'm late on a couple of others, but I will catch up. I know I'm already on a minute and 45. But yeah, I just want to get this out the way. And from the bottom up, I am gonna continue reviewing. I just have to. I think I'm gonna have to watch it on the Centric website because I tried to look and see if they were gonna repeat the episodes tonight, and they aren't, and they don't have Centric on demand. So I'm gonna have to watch it online, and when I do, I will be reviewing it. I did not forget about that show. But anyway, back to Growing Up Hip Hop. If I'm a little off in this video, it's because I am exhausted. I had a long day, but I'm going to do this review as best as I can. So, it starts off where it left off with, Christina getting upset and leaving, Angela and Joanna, after they said that she's a flake. So, Angela is like, she's like, you don't even know what's going on. Like, it's not that I canceled on you just to cancel. I have, like, legit a lot of stuff going on. There goes the yawn, and I did not want to yawn. Sorry. She's like, I have, legit stuff going on, and, it's a lot going on right now. So, Angela's like, well, I'm not understanding what's going on. Tell me what's going on. So she's like, my dad, he's been out of jail for like days now, and he's been battling, a drug addiction for, 25 years, and I'm just waiting to get a call hearing that something happened to him. So, Angela's like, well, you can't, expect for me to understand what's going on with you if you don't tell me what's going on. So Angela is like, okay, well, now that I know that what's going on with her, I can be a little understanding. I'm going to be, I'm going to misunderstand because you're not telling me the entire situation, which was the truth. Christina was like withholding the information from Angela. And I could see where Angela felt like Christina was a flake and she didn't think that business was important. I can see where Angela get that. She got that, what's the friggin' word? Where she got that assumption. And I know Christina wanted to basically, like, she didn't really want a bunch of people to know, her personal business, what was going on with her dad or whatever. But when you're doing business with a person, especially a person that you're looking to make these type of connections with and whatnot, you have to let them know what's going on, be it personal or whatever. If it's a business venture and you guys are working together to build your brands, you have to communicate with them. You can't miscommunicate. So I could see where Angela could get that, I could see why she was acting the way she was acting, because it's like, okay, you called me the day of my fashion show and told me that you're not coming, and then I see you days later and you're in Miami and you're acting like nothing's wrong. So I can see why Angela felt the way she felt. But it's a good thing that now, knowing the situation, Angela is like, okay, well, if you need me, I'm here. I can help you. I don't have the stress that you do, but I can be there for you as a friend. So I thought that was really sweet. Oh my god. I wish I could please stop yawning. Don't yawn for the rest of the video. Gosh. Okay. So, what else happened? Oh, they're in Miami for TJ's show with Run DMC. So, while they're there, they're just conversing, and TJ is basically like, him performing with him performing with Run DMC is like an honor to his dad. He feels like he owes his dad because his dad didn't. He feels like his dad was murdered at a young age and he didn't get to finish what he wanted to finish. So he feels like he picked up the torch from his dad and he's continuing on his dad's legacy, and he feels like he owes it that much to his dad. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's really sweet. And I mean, that's what this show is basically based on entirely. Like, all of these kids are, the sons and the daughters of legends in hip hop. So all of them are like getting the torches passed from the parents to them. And I mean, TJ has nothing to worry about. I'm pretty sure Jam Master Jay is very proud, very, very proud of his son. So, they did the show, and Reverend introduced TJ to everybody as if they probably already knew him. But TJ did a set really quick to show off his skills as a DJ. And at the end, Christina and Angela were like, the show was so good. It was, you have nothing to worry about. I'm pretty sure your dad is proud. So Christina is like, seeing TJ honor his dad really awakened something in me, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to find my dad and build my relationship with him. So Romeo is in Bulgaria. He's filming Jarhead 3 or whatever, or he's like wrapping up the filming, and he's out having dinner with his co-stars, and they're speaking about relationships, and they're asking him about his relationship, and he's like, well, we're basically figuring things out because we were in, my girl is younger, we were in the honeymoon phase, so it's like now we're in the phase of, okay, where are we gonna take this, what are we gonna do? So I kind of hate when people say they're figuring out things, because it's like, you either broken up or you're not. Like, stop leaving it up in the air, because you're thinking one thing and the person that you're with is probably thinking something else. Just make it, don't make it so gray. Make it black or white, Damn it, I didn't want to yawn. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm exhausted, but I want to get this review done. So I'm like, if y'all are broken up, then great. If y'all not, great. Do what works for you. So, Angela goes back to New York, and she's like, okay, well, me going to Miami didn't really do much because my stalker still found a way to get in touch with me. So she played this message that her stalker left, I think, on Instagram, one of them sites. And this dude said her whole government, and then he asked her to marry him. And I'm like, oh gosh. So she's like, yeah, he's crazy. And she's like, well, everybody thinks I overreact. Like, look at this guy is crazy. And it's like, what am I supposed to do in this situation? I don't want to end up kidnapped. So they're like, okay, well, you need to take this to the cops. You really need to deal with this situation because it's only going to get worse from here. So she takes it to the cops, and she played them the message, and they basically told her that she could get an order of protection against him, and that means that if he comes within a certain amount of feet from her, he could be arrested, like, on site. And then they were telling her, you should just DM him and tell him, listen, stop bothering me. I don't want you in that way. I don't want to be with you. Just please leave me alone. But Angela feels uncomfortable in doing so because she doesn't want to direct message him, and he takes it the wrong way because she's answering him. And I mean, I can get why she would feel that way, but honestly, if they are telling you to DM him or whatever, then there's a reason for it. Like, DM him. And when she met up with Vanessa in LA, just to get away, Vanessa was telling her, you need to do what they're telling you to do, because maybe they're telling you to DM him and use it as a paper trail. And I'm like, that could make sense. So, Romeo and Angela are FaceTiming, Skyping, whatever. And he's laying in the bed shirtless, looking like he's dead tired. So they're talking about his relationship and how when he gets back to LA, they are going to hang out, probably find a place together and be roommates. So, you know, and the thing that bugs me about Angela and Romeo, there is legit chemistry with those two on this show. I can see it, I can feel it. Chemistry. So, first of all, if y'all are friends, why is dude laying on the computer half naked if y'all are friends and y'all are comfortable doing that? And then it's like little things that Romeo be saying and Angela be saying, and they don't realize that they say it to each other, and it comes off flirty. So while she's in LA, she's looking for something to wear and asking her assistant to help look for something to wear. So Vanessa comes in, and Vanessa asks about the stalker. No. First, they were talking about her and Romeo. And she's like, yeah, I'm trying to find something to wear for my hangout with Romeo. And, Vanessa's asking her all kinds of questions like, do y'all like each other? Does he like you? Do you like him? Is he your type? And she's like, well, he has a girlfriend. I don't know if they're broken up or not. And she's like, oh, okay, well, basically Angela is trying to give, she's trying to, she's giving like half answers, like half-ass answers. And Joanna, her face is saying it all. Like, Joanna is like, and I'm like, yeah, Joanna is just, she blowing you up. So then they start talking about the stalker, and Vanessa is like, well, you really should do what the cops are telling you to do before this gets any worse. And Angela just does not want to talk about it. She's over talking about this stalker, whatever. So, what else happened? Christinia, I'm so mad at myself right now. Christinia goes to meet up with her Uncle L because she feels like he's withholding information from her pertaining to her dad. So, she meets up with him, and she's like, I just really hope that my dad is okay, and I feel like you know more than you're telling me. And he's like, I do know where your dad is at. He is trying to hide. He doesn't, he feels ashamed. He is trying to hide. And she's like, I know he's hiding. And he's like, I'm going to take care of it. I can't get into the details, but I'm going to take care of it. Just promise me you won't go out there looking for him alone. So Christina is like, okay. He's like, well, you have my word. I will take care of it. So at that point, I guess Christina just left it in his hands. So, Boogie Dash is in LA meeting with his dad, and his dad basically has like a court case going on in New York where one of his kids' mothers is trying to take him to court, I guess for child support or something like that. So Damon Dash is like furious because he's been going through this all of his kids' lives. And even Boogie said the same thing. He said, the whole custody battle thing, it affects the child more than it affects anybody else involved because, the children see the fighting and the bickering going on. And as a child, you don't understand why you're living with one parent and not the other. But as you get older, you figure it out. But it still tears, like, it still bothers you at some point. And I'm like, you are preaching to the choir. So, Damon Dash is basically like, why why does it seem fair to use your child as a pawn to get back at the other person? Like, just let me see my kids. Just because I'm not with you or whatever doesn't mean you have to be bitter about it, or you act on emotion instead of acting with, clear, like a clear thought process. And I'm like, Damon Dash, as much of a prick as he was like the first episode, because he was a prick to me the first episode. I agree with him, and it's like the whole child support custody thing is very one sided, because you could have the mother in the court system saying all kinds of things like, yeah, he's a deadbeat dad, he's a this, he's a that. Meanwhile, her hair done, her nails done, everything did, and she's like, most of the time, women sometimes take the men to court to get money out of them for themselves. It don't be for the child. And it sucks that there are men out there that do want to be there for their kid and they can't, because they have baby mothers who are just bitter because they're no longer in a relationship with them. So they feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna use the child to get back at you, and I already know, I already know I have luck on my side as far as court goes. And it's sad. It's a really sucky situation. And as soon as like the judge sees you, they automatically think, oh, he's a deadbeat dad. Let's suck him dry for money from the kid and all of that. Like, that's how it is in most cases. Not all, but a lot of cases, child support cases especially. So, Damon Dash, guys, he just has to get ready to go back to New York and face his court case, because he like fleed to like North Carolina to get away from the BS. And I mean, I understand it completely. So Romeo asked Egypt to be like a model in his for his clothing line. So while they're doing the shoot, Pepper comes and she's knocking on the window, and then she comes in and she basically takes over and asking questions. So when Pepper and Egypt sit down and they talk, Egypt is like, I'm happy that you're here to guide me and everything, but you're doing things like you're taking over, and Romeo and the crew are supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be doing this. So Pepper is like, listen, I've been in the industry, and Pepper always says this every episode. I've been in the industry 30 years. This industry is no joke. Like, I'm preparing you for peer pressure, because people could one day say you're relevant, and the next day they say, oh, you're washed up. You ain't nobody. And she was like, people will be on your side when you up, but when you down and you hit that rock bottom real quick, that's when they all disappear. So I'm preparing you for that. And Egypt was like, yeah, I think I'm prepared for it. And Pepper was like, well, I'm just letting you know the industry is no joke. And I'm like, I'm glad that Pepper is trying to give her the real deal Holyfield, because the industry is not a joke. Like, they prey on virgins basically, and Egypt is very much a virgin in the industry. Like, she grew up with it, yes, but she's not all the way in yet, like legit in the industry. So she has a lot to work on, and she has a lot to learn. And I'm glad, Peppa is letting her know the real deal, like the ugly side of it. So, what else happened? What am I missing? Okay, well, Romeo goes to meet up with his dad. No, as a matter of fact, Romeo and Angela, they have their little date. And the whole date, I'm sitting there like, these two gonna bone soon. Even though Angela says she's a virgin. Maybe she is. I don't know. But, yeah, you can totally tell it's like some chemistry there. Some chemistry there. So they're talking or whatever, and Romeo finally said that him and Tanita broke up because he said he felt like timing is everything, and I guess going to Bulgaria gave him a new perspective on their relationship or whatever. So Angela's like, with my love life, I'm not dating, I'm single. So I guess she took their little beach date to be a date, and they're dating each other. And then she goes and meet up with her uncle Russell Simmons, and she talks about Romeo and whatnot, and she's like, well, we're just dating, we went on a date, and he's like, asking her about sex or whatever. Like the whole conversation just was awkward. And Russell Simmons was like, "You think Romeo was gonna wait for it? His name is Romeo. He ain't waiting for nothing." And I'm like, okay, Russell, I'm gonna need for you to. So they start talking about the stalker, whatever, and how Vanessa's concerned for her. And he's like, does your dad know? And she's like, yes, he knows. And he's like, I'm going to call your dad. And she's like, no, you don't have to call him. He knows. He's like, okay, well, whatever the cops are telling you to do, you need to do it. Like, it's not a joke. We care for your safety. So then, she gets up and she leaves. And, Russell was like, it's not a runway, Angela, just leave. And she's like, I didn't think it was. He was like, well, who walks like that? She's like, me. So I thought that was a cute little, scene with her and her uncle. Now, every single time Romeo goes to meet up with his father, I just can't. Because Master P is too much on the friggin' TV. So he naturally calls Romeo to come over so they could discuss the future of No Limit Forever Records or whatever. Every single time Master P is on the screen, he's sitting at his desk looking like the Godfather. Like he's sitting there with a cigar. So, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, to tell me that you may want to take over No Limit Forever Records. Like, Master P, it be so exaggerated because he has this big old diamond pinky ring, and then he got a cigar, and then he's sitting in a chair in all black, like, with his sunglasses on, talking to Romeo like this, like, I'm ready for you to take over. I just want to know that you want to take over. Romeo's like, well, I got to do this. I got to do this. Okay, I know what you got to do. But are you ready? And I just be sitting here like, this is so, I can't. Like, you can tell that before takes, like before they recorded that scene, that they came in and they powdered Master P's face real nice. They made sure to, like, tell him, fix your pinky ring, because, we want to make sure it shine, on camera. And, make sure you light that cigar, like, like, you can tell that they gave him pointers, on what to do whenever he's about to film, because it be so overly dramatic and exaggerated. It's just crazy. But it basically ended there, with Romeo and his dad or whatever. I didn't see the preview for next week, but as far as I know, like, I saw like a little snippet of it when I was watching some other show yesterday, and I'm like, oh, like Angela and Christine are gonna get into it. But yeah, that was Growing Up Hip Hop Season 1, Episode 4. Y'all let me know how y'all liked it. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and I'll see you guys next episode or next video or whatever. Good night. Peace.